Good afternoon, everybody. Today we're going to be doing some canning, and I thought that I would go ahead and record it so that you could see how the process goes, how we do things around here. This is the juice of 2 gallons worth of blackberries, which we got from our local berry patch. We processed the berries through the Victorio strainer. If you guys don't have one of these and do any amount of canning, it is so handy to have. We love ours. They sell a box of attachments that you can get too, which we did go ahead and get, and it has proved an invaluable time saver. It took the juice and removed the seeds and the skins. Alright, I went ahead and got the rest of the stuff out that I needed to get this started. We prefer to not use hardly any sugar at all in our jams. I don't know, it feels like it loses the fruit flavor if you put too much sugar in it. So we stick with the low or no sugar needed pectin from Ball. You can order this online, or a lot of times Walmart will carry it too, especially during canning season. So I've got some of that. We do have a little bit of sugar that we're going to dish out. I went ahead and combined the bowls so that we just have one really full bowl. I guess that means we have about 1 gallon of juice altogether. Lids are back there, staying hot. Here's my big old stock pot. Big old pot here. We're ready to start. Okay, for our recipe, for every 2 cups of juice that we put into the pot, we're gonna need 2 tablespoons, or 1 cup, 1 tablespoon of the pectin. So, trying to figure out what the best way would be here to move it from one pot to the other without making a huge mess, but I'm not sure that's gonna be an option. So, let's see. A little bit more. Almost. There we go. That's 2 cups. There's another 2 cups. There is another 2 cups. Okay, and I think I'm gonna have to switch cups because this is gonna get really hard to scoop out. The other measuring cup is not in there, so guess what? We're gonna improvise. Clean out the sides of this a little bit. Be very careful when you're canning because blackberry juice stains everything. Should probably not be wearing white to do this right now, but you know what? Whatever. Live dangerously. They're just clothes, right? Here that I'll be using for making the jam anyway. Maybe we'll try pouring it in here. See how that works. Oh, this is gonna be messy. Oh, that worked really well though. We've got another 2 cups. And then just continue until it's done. I did forget to mention, I'm stirring in the remainder of the pectin at this time, getting it really mixed well. But I will be adding a little bit of sugar. We don't like a lot. We prefer for it to be majorly just fruit flavored, and really just a hint of sugar mixed in there. But for the 12 cups of juice that I have in here, I'll probably add 3 to 4 cups of sugar, which is a lot less than many recipes would call for. mixture in there. And then I'll taste just a little bit of it to see if it needs any extra sugar or not. There's one. Two. As soon as it's mixed thoroughly and I've tasted to ensure that this is the right amount of sugar, I'm going to turn the heat on. We want to bring it to a rolling boil that cannot be stirred down. And from there, it'll be ready to put into the clean jars. And we'll go from there. We've now reached the point where stirring does not keep the mixture from boiling anymore, so time to go ahead and start ladling it out into the jars. I've got everything set up in kind of assembly line fashion over there. So basically, I'll turn this around. Ladle the hot mixture into the jars that are fresh out of the dishwasher. We want 1/4 of an inch of headspace. And after each jar is filled, what I do is I have a paper towel here, and in this little black container, I filled it with vinegar. And then I will wipe the rims of each and every jar with the vinegar. Make sure that there's no little bits of blackberry juice or just anything in general on there. Lid goes on top. Go ahead and fasten it down. Mixture is very hot, so be careful with your hands. Fingertip tight. And then this bad boy is ready to go into the canner, which is, I'd say it's about 1/4 of the way full with hot water right now, and I can always add water as needed. You want the jars to be covered after setting them in there, so go ahead. Pick up the jar very carefully using your tongs. You can get these in any of the canning kits that they sell at Walmart. You can get it on Amazon. Really easy to find them. But beautiful filled jar. Into the canning pot it goes. And then just to do it with the rest of them. And just to get you a little bit of a preview of my water bath canner over here, you do need, if you're using a regular stock pot, something in the bottom of it so that the jars are not sitting directly on the bottom of your pot. That immediate contact heat is too much for the jars. You don't want that. I also mix a little bit of vinegar into my stock pot before canning. Just mixed into the water. You don't need a heck of a lot of it, but our well water will leave these jars looking all sorts of cloudy and foggy, and the vinegar really helps to prevent that. Okay, it has been at a rolling boil for 10 minutes now, which is the proper processing time. I ended up not putting a second layer of jars in there, which is what the other canning rack right there was intended for, but I'm going to remove that. Then I'm going to take the jars out, put the next set in, repeat the process, and we'll see how many we have when we're all done. Okay, second batch is finished. I just removed the lid to my canner. Time to take these guys out, set them next to the others, and then I have two random little jars, and gonna probably go ahead and process these two, but this one that's not even full, he'll just go in the fridge. Well, besides the two that are still in my canner over there, here's the finished product. I can't wait to dig into these guys. Alright, I let the jars sit all night, let them cool completely, and then today, it's about midday now, so not quite 24 hours, but pretty close. I went ahead and removed the bands from each jar. I never store them with the bands on the jars since that can lead to rusting and sticking and a few things that I'm not really willing to risk with that. But it looks like they have set up great. Some people have said not to do jam in big batches because they won't set properly, and your experience may vary, but I haven't found that to be the case myself. So everything looks great.